it was worth it. We're going to introduce the Clan Championship Cup, the 6th edition today, the CCC6 as we know it. And as you know, it is the 15th anniversary of the CCC, actually, if you go back to Civilization 3 and 4. And we've had so many years of amazing games, so it's really a pleasure to be able to be your tournament host this time. I don't want to make many more videos, actually. It's probably the last one I'm doing as well, but I think it was worth it to explain the tournament, how it's going to go, and try to make it a little bit simpler, because I know it can look quite daunting from a first point of view when you look at the schedule and so on. It really looks very big, so I thought I'd make it easy. Video format, sometimes it helps people understand, or sometimes like someone actually explaining the schedule with the image. It's really nice, and I'm so glad to be able to actually have this cup again this year. Last one was in last May or June, so 2019, and it's the 6th one for the Civilization 6 as well, but it's been going on for like a long time, so I'm very glad to be able to organize it this year with CPL. And I want to thank as well, before I start, Jack the narrator for all the mods, Codena as well for like the mod, for the BBG mod as well. The whole moderator team really has been super helpful in this endeavor, so I want to thank everyone for this. But without further ado, let's just jump straight into it, into the subject, so at least you'll be able to understand a little bit more what is the competition. And if you want to participate, there's still time, because yes, there's 9 teams signed up this year. I'm going to show you the teams actually. The first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to edit the video eventually. So right now I'm browsing the CPL server. I'm just looking for the news channel. The news, there you go. And we got right here, 9 teams. Okay, on screen technically. So if you want to participate, it's very easy. You just have to contact some of those teams. So the HOK, Russian, Small PP, WFS, and so on. The leaders, or just they have a clan channel. Sometimes they have a clan discords. Like, as long as you contact them and they want to get you in, then you can participate, and you could join some of the players that are already signed in, because from my estimate, there's already 150 players signed in from across all the globe, really, across all communities we have on Discord. So it is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, tournament we have for Civilization 6 to date. It's been the biggest for years already, and this year we're still planning to make it as fun as we can, so hopefully you'll be able to participate and enjoy it. So the teams, I'm gonna introduce them very briefly in case you actually wonder about those teams. HOK, the first team here, is led by Ulo Ran. Very fun clan actually, if you're looking for a team. I think they actually have a big lineup already. They're getting a little bit low on recruitment now, but don't be afraid to ask. They'll probably just like look at it as well. HOK, very fun bunch. We have also like the streamer Under, if you know him. He's actually making a lot of videos. Actually, he's generally making videos in English in the CPL if you want to look at it. He's not the only one, but one of the many. He's the vice admin of CPL, so it's really a nice clan, should be very fun, and I think they're really well organized, so I think they might do very well this CCC as well. The second clan we got this year is the Russian, out of the 9, and the Russians are, well, we don't know much exactly about who's gonna join, but if you followed up on some other tournaments, sometimes we have some Russian teams like Next Vigram or Low Scale Animals right now competing in another competition called the Civilization World Cup. They're probably going to come this time in the CCC as well and participate as well. And probably many people from the Russian servers, really. They have like a few discords where they gather and play games. So they're going to form up a team, a clan, and they're looking very strong. So I think they're someone of contenders for the win, what we're going to see. Third clan, Small PP, long history. It's really hard to sum it up because they've been here for a long time, and originally many of them were in Scrap, which was a very notable clan, which won 3 clan championship cups in a row, for instance. But they branched off, and they have their own organization, their own Discord. They're really fun, and they're really good in team games as well. So I'm looking forward to see what they're gonna do. They also have this one team called PP Patrol in the Civilization World Cup, which is doing pretty well at the moment. So probably one of the clans that you have to keep an eye on. one of the newest additions is WFS. WFS is basically a bunch of players on Discord on CPL realize that, oh my god, the CCC looks so fun. We do want to go in. We don't want to participate. So they decided to form a clan for it and actually sign up. And they got already enough members, but they do need many more. So if you're looking for a clan, just have fun. WFS might be your choice here. Contact Master of Nothing is an amazing guy as well organizing this. So I'm sure he's gonna like sign you up whenever you need. They are seen as the underdog right now, so not many people are expecting them to compete over small PP or the Russians, for instance. But honestly, don't count them out because we've seen many surprises in the past years, and I wouldn't say well WFS really has no chance here because they do have a team and they signed up. So I'm glad to see them competing this year. Also, the 5th one and the 8th one, actually, if you wonder, are two French clans. So CCC6 is another community where people actually, where I play a lot as well, where people play Civilization and a little bit like CPL, but all in French. Very interesting way. They decided to branch off in 2 clans, one a little bit more all-star and one a little bit more relaxed in a way. So if you do speak French and you want to sign up for the CCC, those might be your clans if you want to check it up. The French really in the past year or two have improved a lot their gameplay and their game potential, so they are looking as well as top contenders this time, even though the Russians and small PP might still be favored. Like we need to keep an eye on CCC6 to see how they're going to compete this year. 6th clan here, ZOC or Zone of Control, a clan led by Task Force Fish. Task Force Fish, well, not only him, but he's the most known player. We got also Jessica, Blaze, and many other players actually. I think even the head admin, I'm not even sure because I haven't double checked, but looks like Kodna, the head admin, actually joined the ZOC here team. So they are known, I think, to be very organized and they have a really good cohesion, like team cohesion. So they always like together, trying to make it as best as they can, talking to each other and so on. So I think they have a lot of potential, and I'm really looking forward to see how they're going to do this year as the 6th clan for this clan championship cup. SL 7th here. SL is, besides maybe CCC6, which has been there for years, like if you even go back to Civilization 3 or 4, they were there. SL has now joined as well, and SL is has been here, I think, if I'm not mistaken, since the 2nd iteration of the Clan Championship Cup in Civilization 6. I might be mistaken, but I think it's going to be, therefore, their 5th participation or 6th participation, depends on how you count, this year. And they never won, but they almost won quite a few times, really. So they were always in the top clans, and they still are. Some very popular streamers are in there, like such as Tomb Raider, for instance. We've got many other players that are either as strong in teamers or FFAs, so hopefully we'll see them compete very well. And finally, we got Big Friends, last clan who actually signed up. They did get enough members for the sign up, so I'm pretty happy they got another clan from them. Some people from such as Harambe, which used to lead Sun Tzu, which won the 2 first CCCs, if you have to remember. So very notable player. We got some players, very strong players like TG Mang, SDEF, and so on. So very strong FFA players in that team. They're going to try to compete, I think, in those FFAs and try to get as many points as possible. And maybe also get a few points in the team games as well. So really a big contender again for the Clan Championship Cup. And this is the 9 clans. But okay, I've been talking already for like 5-10 minutes. But what is the CCC? Well, that's pretty simple. It's just a bunch of events from the 19th of June to the 21st. And people are going to play Civilization. That's it. That's the goal. The goal is to have fun. Plenty of fun games. There's team games and so on. And for each event that happens, there's going to be some points associated to it. And don't worry, I'll get the points table released very soon. And if you score well in FFA, you can get more points. If you score medium, you get medium points and so on. And if you keep winning team games, well, you might even get to the finals and get a lot of points from there as well. So it's a very complex event, but overall, you'll see it's very simple. It just looks very big. But I'm going to go through every type of event with you right now, explain to you how it's going to go, and then once this is done, I hope you'll be able to follow it a little bit easier. So I'm going to go check here the schedule. Very easy. The schedule will be available as well under the video if you're curious. This is the final schedule for the CCC6. The way it works is really simple. We have the time zones here on the left. So let's say you live in Sydney, Australia. You could check, okay, at 17 my time, which games are happening. Like, this game's happening, this game's happening, and so on. So you could check exactly when you can play or when you can watch the game. So very easy. If you're from Europe, maybe like compares time, you could check, okay, like 10 a.m. here, for instance, or if you look a little bit me like on the East Coast in America, well, I'm not in America, but on the East Coast, I could check like, okay, is there anything at noon my time? And I could check here this way and go through the dates. If you need, there's a easier schedule underneath here where you can see exactly where the events and when are the events and what they are as well. I personally prefer the big format because I like to plan things, but if you prefer this format here, it's going to be much easier for you to try to understand everything. And the CCC overall is some team games like 4v4s. It's going to be a few 2v2s. You can see them in green, for instance, right here, green. You can see also a few 2v2, v2, v2s, so basically 2v2, but FFA in a way, because you get either 4 or 5 clans competing, so 8 or 10 players, because there's 2 players per team. And there's going to be 2 of them this time. So there's going to be also a bunch of, do you see the pink FFAs? So those are free-for-alls, very easy to simple as well. We got like FFA 1, 2, 3, up to 16. And we even got a 1 Iron Man, which is basically a FFA, but a very long one, where there's no concede possible. So you have to play until the victory screen or until everybody agrees to CC. So this game will be worth a lot of points and should be very interesting to watch. The semifinals, very interesting as well. You have to keep an eye out for that. We're gonna have then, for instance, if you live in New York, at 13 on the Saturday, and on the Sunday, same time, 13 o'clock, you're gonna get the finals, which will be played 6 versus 6 for the first time this year. Yes, because it's a CPL favorite. It's a very common game type for teamers, so it's very hard to plan a whole tournament with 6v6 because it takes a lot of players, lots of logistics, and to get the time to do it from every clan on the world is very hard. But for the finals, we're gonna get it done, and you'll be sure to tune in on this. I haven't chosen who's gonna be the caster yet for this game, but there's gonna be a lot of people watching and it should be very cool to see. So if there's only one game you want to check out, probably check out the finals here, 6v6, and who knows, the winner might even win the CCC, who knows. So this year there was 9 clans, which made it quite a struggle, I guess, to plan it, because 9 is never a good number to plan a tournament with. But I think I managed to find a good way to and a good compromises to make it work as well. So I'm going to simply explain what I did here for the 4v4s, because people see, oh my god, there's so many like blue spots here and there, and it looks so big and so tough to compete in all that. But it really is a little bit smaller than it looks, because not every clan plays at every time there. So I'm going to explain exactly how it works. Very simple. What we did is basically we separated the 9 clans into 3 groups. I'm going to announce the groups very soon as well, so you just keep it tuned on for that. But out of the 3 groups, there's going to be 3 clans in each. So each clan will have to face each of the other clans once. So if there's 3 teams, well, you have to play 2 games to play against everyone, for everyone. And this requires 3 time slots, because you can't play all at the same time, because one team has to play against the other one, then next one, basically team A against team B, then team B against team C, then team C against team A, for instance. So that's why there's 3 time slots, and this is why we actually had to go a little bit over the weekend from the 19th of June to be able to make it work, because generally I was really trying to get only 4 rounds, but with 9 clans it really was very difficult, so I had to jump it to a potential of 6 44 rounds, and this is why I'm giving most clans an extra week if they want to follow this as well. So starting from the Monday, it's not on the schedule, but you can play Monday the 15th as the first day. Each clan will be able to play once against every other clan in their group. So I'm going to give you an example. Let's say we got HOK, ZOC, and WFS in one group, for instance. Well, HOK would have to play against ZOC for one game. ZOC would have to play against WFS for one game, and then WFS would have to play against HOK for one game, for instance. And I gave a basic time, which is, if you wonder, around 2 o'clock in New York time. Again, you can adjust wherever you are. But this is just a standard time if no other time is found, because during the first week, I'm going to allow the clans to schedule their own team game at the right time. So if they say, this is a really bad time for us, why don't you want to do the 4v4 a little bit earlier or a little later and so on? Well, they're going to be able to do it. I'm going to allow it from Monday to Thursday, as long as it's done by Thursday. So it has to be done by Thursday, and if it's done, all the clans will be able to compete and finish phase 1, simply. And okay, so we play against 2 other clans, and what's the next step? Well, pretty easy again. The 2 top clans of each group will qualify for the phase 2. So phase 2 will be the same thing. We're going to get, this time, instead of having 3 groups, we'll only have 2 groups left, because there's going to be 3 losers from each of the 3 groups that will be put in the losers bracket in a way. But they will still play, and they will get to their losers finals and so on, but they will be out for the finals, unfortunately. So, but if you were between the 2 of the top 3 teams in your group, so 2/3 of the teams will advance, you're going to get to phase 2. And phase 2 will be exactly the same. So the seeds, if you want the details for all these seeds, like not necessarily seeds, but like which clan would go where and so on, it's all written in the rules. Like it's already there if you want the very tiny details. But basically, the winners of the phase 1 will play against the winners, against the other winners of the phase 1 for phase 2. And phase 2 is going to be 2 groups of 3 again, and it's going to be 2 matches, same thing. So let's say I end up, let's say I play with HOK, I end up playing in the same group as Big Friends and maybe SL, for instance. Well, HOK will play against Big Friends, and Big Friends against SL, and then SL against HOK. So it's very simple. There's 3 time slots for it. We got the phase 2 here. The first time slot is there on Friday, and yeah, this is the start of the CCC from the Friday, the official start. Second is right there, so it's a really good time for Americans, but not a very good time if you're European. But don't worry, there's actually another time slot here, which is a very bad time for Americans and a very good time for Europeans. So what will happen is, on Thursday night, after the phase 1 is over, I'm going to release the schedule for the phase 2 Thursday night. I try to schedule, if there's, depending on which teams get where, I'll try to schedule them at a good time for them. So if I know they're American teams, I might schedule them in this time slot, for instance. If I know they're European teams, I might schedule them in this time slot. And this should work out so far. So that's what I'm hoping. And again, they play 2 matches, and who gets to win? Well, the top 2 of that group. So there were 2 groups left of 3 players, 6 clans. There's going to be then only 4 left, because only 2 from each will qualify to get the semifinals. And in the semifinals, now it's going to be like a normal bracket. So you play against another semifinalist. If you win, you get to finals. If you lose, well, you can to the 3rd and 4th place game, which is not too bad really, because it was 9 clans. So if you reach there, like, you did a good job. Very simple, like, bracket system, basically. And there's another bit, if you lost phase 1 or during phase 2, you're gonna have another match to the 5th or 6th place, or 7th, 8th, and 9th place, for instance. So at the end of the day, we're gonna have the full ranking for all the clans depending on the results. So I know it looks big, it looks a lot, but really, basically all you have to remember is you play 2 games in phase 1, 2 games in phase 2. If you lost in phase 1, you still play 2 games in phase 2, because there's a loser bracket for you. And then you try to win every time. And then, would you win phase 2? in the winners bracket, then you get to semifinals and then to finals. It's really as simple as that. Okay. Well, I got already a technical question coming up from some players, like, what if we get like a tie? Like, what if it's like a 1 victory everywhere, like 1-1-1? Well, this is where the system is a little bit trickier, but it is only like a downside of having this kind of schedule. But really, it's such a small downside that we're gonna do it anyway. The equality will be the ties will be broken by tiebreakers, which are also all listed in the rules. Basically, what we're gonna do is we're going to check how efficiently you won. So, which turn you won. So it's gonna be very important to report the turn number when you win your 4v4 game. The 4v4 game, let's say you win on turn 50, the other clan wins on turn 51, and the other one wins on turn 52. Then the clan which won on turn 52 was the slowest winner, so they will be out of the pool phase. They will like be eliminated from the pool phase basically. And then to determine who should be the best of the two, we're going to check the matchup as well for the seeds to see who gets in which group afterwards and so on. So it's a little bit unfortunate, but since we're trying to get this concise, trying to play all the games in one weekend, we don't want to stretch this over like 2 months, because I think 9 teams could stretch well over 2 months if we wanted to do like a full structure. But for now, this is what's gonna happen. And if you have any questions, never hesitate. I'm always available to answer any of your questions as well, so never hesitate to ask. So this is 4v4s, and if you're a clan leader and listening to this, you'll have to plan for this, because it is quite important, especially for phase 1, to perform quite well. It might be worth a decent amount of points, because as you can see, if you get to finals, well, it's going to be a lot of points. Even though, theoretically speaking, you could lose every game in the 4v4 and still win, technically, if you win everything else. But it's very, very hard. So I encourage all the clan leaders to get on and try to get a good 4v4 team set up. And you can change the players at any time, right? You don't have to always have the same 4 players playing every time. So, and since it's a clan event, it's a team event, it's normal to shuffle the players around and shuffle the schedule. So hopefully it's gonna work out. Small detail though, like we're gonna go jump for the 2v2s here, which are the green slots. There's 3 of them, 1, 2. So one on Friday, for instance. I'm gonna check it for you 2 here on 4 o'clock New York time, for instance. Well, 4 p.m. And the next one would be, for instance, at 8 p.m. in New York. And finally, the finals will be the Sunday here. So as you can see, like again, you can check it at which time it's gonna be. Okay, 7 a.m. So you don't have to wake up early if you're in New York, but maybe some of Europeans will be like it's noon or 1 o'clock already, for instance. So the 2v2s, you might notice, is only 3 slots. So it's going to be a single elimination bracket with only 8 teams. So that means that there's going to be 1 team that will not participate in the 2v2. And which team will it be? It will be the team that I will seed 9th, so the worst team from the phase 1 of the 4v4. So it's really important that you have to be in the top 8 out of 9, which is not too hard because there's 8 spots for it. So hopefully it's going to be fair for everyone here. And you have to perform in the 4v4 well enough to be able to qualify to play the 2v2 tournament, small tournament, inside the CCC. And the 2v2 is going to be single elimination bracket. So at first it's going to be 8 teams, or 8 clans. They play 1 against 1. So then there's going to be 4 winners. And the 4 winners, they will play against each other as well. So there's going to be 2 games, and then there's going to be 2 winners, and then the 2 winners will play for the finals on Sunday. So very simple structure, really. Nothing out of the ordinary about this. And obviously, if you lose in the first round, I'll allow you to play as well again to try to get a better spot, to try to rank properly compared to the other players as well. So if you lose in the first round, it's going to be 4 losers, and it's going to be like 2 losers and so on. So again, the same thing. There's going to be at the end 8 clan ranked from 1 to 8 to see who's the best, who's the worst, and the 9th clan, which didn't qualify, won't get any points for it, unfortunately. Besides that, there's a few as well, 2v2v2s. It might be 4 or 5 clans per game. I'm going to alternate them because there's two of those games. And those games, again, to determine which clans play against which clan, those will be based on the group phase 1. But this is a very tiny detail. Basically, it's a bit like a free-for-all in a team-based setup. Very fun games. These has been some of the most fun games in past CCCs, and people have loved them. So if you want like a real true experience of like I guess interaction with the other players and a true civilization experience to see who really is the best, 2v2 really provides an exciting game if you do want to try it out. There's 2 of them, so technically there can be as much as 4 players from a clan trying those games, and hopefully they're going to be just as fun as last time. And finally, the last events there are the FFAs. And yes, the FFAs, there's quite a lot of them this year. A little bit more than last year. There's 16 of them. And the Iron Man as well, making it 17 if you count it. The reason why there's so much is because since we had to add team games, to keep the balance between FFA and teams, we had to add a few FFAs as well. But they're going to be so fun. We've got so many game modes this year. I hope you'll be as excited as I am to see how it's going to pan out. I'm going to explain to you a little bit how they work, but as some clan or members or clan leaders already maybe listening and wondering like, oh my god, this looks so big, I'm going to already reassure you a little bit here. We're going to introduce a no-show token. And the no-show token will allow you to skip, well, we're going to give you 3 tokens. It will allow you to skip 3 FFAs if you want. And basically, I apologize for having this event a little bit bigger than planned at first. But to apologize, I will give you 3 tokens of no-show, so you'll be able to choose which FFAs you don't want to do. But you can do all of them as well, and if you do all of them, technically, the points you could get is even higher. So if when you use a no-show token, I'll give you probably 5th place in the FFA, which is like the middle ground, and so it means that you'll get well, 5th place. I give you the amount of points for the 5th place, which would help you to not compete in it, but still stay competitive for the rest of the event, so keep on par with every other clan. So if you want to use them, and if somehow something happened, a player didn't show up or something, well, you have your no-show token and you can still avoid disqualification for no-show, for instance. So those no-show tokens, 3 of them, choose them carefully. And if you don't choose them carefully, well, if you don't show up, well, you might end up not having it. If you do plan on not showing up, let me know, because the schedule this year is quite tight, so we want to get it as smooth as possible, really. This is the goal. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you some of the FFAs we're going to do. They're free-for-alls, which is a very popular game mode, really, in, well, always has been in Civilization. It's probably one of the main game modes for Civilization and the most played still in CPL today. So the FFA 1, for instance, is going to be Apocalypse mode. And some people know this. Apocalypse, yeah, is a new Frontier Pass, new game mode, which a lot of catastrophes. Like if you think Catastrophe 4, or Disasters 4, I should say. Disasters 4 are not enough. This is the game for you. Apocalypse is going to be even more disasters. It's going to be meteor showers. At the end of the game, when it gets to the ice is melting, it really is the apocalypse. As everything else is breaking down, everything is getting raised. So it's a very fun game. A little bit of RNG, but an amazing game to watch and play. So if this interests you, well, sign up for this game. It's a very fun one, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it as well. The second one is a more traditional continent game. So eventually I'm going to release a document with all the rules for all FFAs. So on a Word document, probably, and you'll be able to see exactly what are the rules, the settings, and so on. But I'm just doing an overview of what to expect, really. And the FFA 2 is one of the 4 regular FFAs in a way. FFA 2 will be on continent map. FFA 3 will be all Colombia. So yeah, we're getting Colombia there. It probably will be adjusted by the mod, but still, it's going to be super fun here. All Colombia, every player will play Colombia, and that's it. Basically, if you want to play Colombia, that's your FFA. And FFA 4 is one of our new game modes as well. So I'm very excited to show you this already, but it's going to be the very first out of 2 one city challenges. So OCC, this game mode is old like Civilization, has been there for like so much time already, but Jack has managed to get the working version for Civilization 6 on New Frontier Pass, and it really is really amazing. I'm going to show you a few images actually of what to expect, but I'm going to let you discover this game mode because there's a lot of strategies and you might end up... it's part of the fun to discover it and see how you can strategize to do good or bad. Basically, you can only have one city, but you'll have a new unit called the Expansionist. So I'm going to show you a little bit here. I did some tests with some of the players that might have wanted to play this on the... We'll see. It's just and you can see here I got 2 of them, 2 Expansionists. I got one here, and I put this on slow motion so you can see the animation as well. So this unit could build a watchtower, and this watchtower claims land around you. So and besides that, well, all the regular stuff, like, is it better to go for a cultural victory, the religious victory, the science victory? You get to choose, and there's going to be lots of new mechanics and stuff. So basically, you'll be able to expand or do whatever you want, and even maybe claim a reward if you raise a city, because yes, you can even raise capital cities in this mode. So if you raise a city-state, nothing happens, but who knows what might happen if you raise the capital city? I'll let you discover. If you're curious, this mode should be out very soon, if not out already. It's going to be everybody's going to be able to test it out and see exactly how it works, and hopefully you'll be able to enjoy it as well. So, just a second. Are you okay? Yeah, okay. Okay, it's already ready. I'll warm it up. Okay, I gotta finish something, but it's ready. Okay, see you soon. Sorry about that. Yeah, sorry about that. Anyway, I was planning to edit this as a proper video, so it's okay to take a break in the middle. So yeah, let's go back to the schedule. So yeah, let's go back to the schedule. Sorry about that. We just covered one city challenge, one of the 3 new game modes. Thank you so much, Jack, for getting this as well already. And if this doesn't interest you, because I know many don't, and that doesn't interest for many, we got the all random mode as well already. All random is basically mode game type. So everybody just chooses random and you play FFA. So very standard, should be very fun. We also got anonymous FFA. We're gonna get 2 of them actually. And one there, FFA6 and one FFA10 as well. Anonymous as well, yet again a new game mode. So I'm gonna show you a few pictures on the stream here that I prepared for you. So if it can work, this is the anonymous mode. This should be out as well, if not now, like very soon, for everyone to be able to try out. This anonymous mode just simply means that your name will be hidden. You'll be called Anon. So this mode will allow you to basically hide your clan, hide who you are, unless maybe you speak like this, maybe people are going to recognize you. You could type in chat, it's going to be put Anon and so on, and it will allow you to basically stay hidden. And we know how much players love this, because sometimes, it's fun to really just try to play the game without knowing who the player is in front of you. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it medium? And you just try to do your best, and it's really a game mode that lots of people wanted. So there's going to be 2 of them this year, and I'm really excited to see how it's going to pan out as well. If you're wondering as well, this is how the 1 city challenge will look like when you open it in the menu. Very cool picture as well. So I know you like this. And the last one I'm going to introduce, it's going to be a little bit further in the schedule, but since we're showing pictures here, this is the sudden death mode again. So the last of the new game modes that's going to be introduced with the CCC. This game mode basically is, well, I'm still choosing the timers here, but basically after 60 minutes, the first player will be completely raised out of the map. There's going to be a timer on top, and then when it reaches to 0, then you get raised, and if you're in 9th place in score, then you get raised. And then 20 minutes later, the last place again gets raised. So 20 minutes later, the 8th place gets raised, and then 20 minutes later, again another player, and so on. So it means that as soon as people start getting raised, it's gonna go very quickly, and the game's gonna go it's gonna be FFA, but who knows who might last the longest, and who knows who might win before the timer is done over as well. So very fun game type. If you never played it, it's really different from a different normal FFA, but it really is worth the experience, and I hope you're gonna enjoy this one as well. So this is we could talk about, there you go, sudden death was right there. We got the Pangea here, really standard. We got FFA here, which is called Apocalypse Plus. So this is gonna be the Apocalypse mode and sudden death combined. So this is gonna be a very interesting game. I hope so. A little bit late for Europeans, but hopefully you'll be able to be there as well. And finally, this Sunday, we got a few more games. We got another OCC One City Challenge. We got here the All Maori game, played on Inland Sea. Yes, so a little bit, very fun game, a little bit like Al Colombia, but now everybody's going to be Maori, and everybody's going to try to gain advantage out of it. Very fun, really, to play this kind of game type overall. And you'll see, like, everybody in Inland Sea, everybody spawns in the middle of the ocean, in the middle, so everyone together. So it's a very peculiar map to play. If you never played this mode, it's very fun. We're gonna Pangea here, Continent Island, so this is pretty standard. And finally, the last two FFAs are gonna be choose the civilization of your opponent. So basically, you're going to choose for someone else what he plays, but someone will choose for you as well. And it all happens at the same time, it's all hidden, so basically you can't know who's gonna pick what or whatever. So the draft phase is very fun. And once this is done, you might end up playing one of the civilizations you've never played before, but you have to play it. And you have to try to compete well for your clan and try to get as many points as possible. So very fun FFA, once again. And the last one is a bit simple, but it's a blind pick. So basically, you're going to have 2 bans for civilizations for every player. And then for the rest, you're going to be able to choose whatever civilization you want. And everybody's going to choose, and then reveal all at the same time. And hopefully, this is going to be super fun as well. So, last thing, I know some people are worried about where's the Always Peace Iron Man this year. Well, I'm sorry, but it couldn't fit on the schedule with 9 clans this year. I really tried to put it and make it sure it works. And I know this is a game type that many people like, but don't worry, next year we'll try to fit it in, or maybe we'll do another event on the side to get the Always Peace Iron Man back in. But this year it won't be part of the CCC. And I hope overall this has helped you to really get a grasp of things like what is the CCC, how it's going to be played, what's the schedule, and so on. Basically, the best you do in any event, the more points you get. So if you finish 3rd, you get many more points than if you finish 4th, and more points than if you finish 5th, and so on. And at the end of the day, at the end of Sunday, I'm going to calculate all the points that your whole clan got, and whichever clan wins will get the CCC Victor badge. So yes, you'll be able to have your badge on Discord for a very long time. I think for a whole season. We haven't decided exactly for how long, but maybe until next CCC as well. So this is really one of the most fun and famous prizes you could get on CPL if you were there. So hopefully I'll get to see some of you guys playing this CCC. Hopefully you'll get to find a clan. Remember, there's 9 clans already signed up. You can sign up as a clan member or a mercenary, or it doesn't matter. And otherwise, well, good luck to every clan, and I'll see you guys next time.